Welcome back to pokepaint. I know, it's been a little bit, but we're finally back with some more Pokemon concepts for the Colonar region. Yes, I finally got around to making a real name for the region and not just calling it New Galar. Of course, from the core words colony and Galar, this region has had and will continue to have themes reminiscent of early colonial New England. So let's jump right into it. This week we're going to do the bug types of the Colonar region, starting off with a regional variant of Butterfree. I based this line off a monarch butterfly and the woolly bear caterpillar. Yes, I know that these are two different species, but both are prevalent in the New England area, and I remember seeing and catching both species from my childhood. Starting with Caterpie, I didn't actually change that much except for its color palette. I also decided to give it some fur to resemble its real-life counterpart. There's not really that much else for this design prompt, so it's a pretty simple one. So there's Caterpie. I decided to skip Metapod because, well, I think a green solid skin form is pretty perfect for any chrysalis Pokemon, especially for the Monarch Butterfly line. So now, Butterfree. Again, I'm not doing that much with it except changing the color palette. With those out of the way, I'd like to note that these might be found in some of the earlier routes, alongside the Orbeetle line. I'm including these because ladybugs are absolutely everywhere in New England. Hopping over to some more world building. I'm sure you can see that I've redrawn the map in the modern style, and I've moved around some places to match how I want to tell a story of this region. Setting out from Halamadal City, south to the Cityside Path, a paved road winds through towering buildings and city parks. In the tall grass and flower beds, there can be found Pidove, Trubbish, Rattata, Joltik, and our next few Pokemon. My first design was a single stage line based on a stink bug. And let me tell you, as a resident of New England, it would be simply false to say that these bugs aren't absolutely everywhere, especially during the fall. So I wanted to go with almost a hair-across or pincer-like body style with a semi-transparent abdomen that would be filled with a poisonous gas. This Pokemon would be called Eldridal, the stinkbug Pokemon, from its base words malodorous and beetle. Eldridal would be a bug poison type, and it would have an ability called Insecticide. This ability would poison a Pokemon after Eldridal had been knocked out. The next bug type would be a two-stage line based on an apparent concept for the Black and White games. There was supposed to be a Pokemon line based on ants that would be the smallest Pokemon to ever exist. I think the Pokemon we got in its place was Durant, but the smallest Pokemon concept gave me an idea for an ability that would play off this strength in numbers concept that ant colonies show off. The first Pokemon in this line would be Micrant, from micro and ant, and true to its name, it would be a minuscule 2 inches. Although this might seem pretty big for an ant, Pokemon rarely get smaller than a foot. The smallest one today is Flabebe at 4 inches. Its ability would be Colonize. Although Micrant are pitifully weak on their own, for every Micrant a trainer has caught, its stats will double overall, with no cap. So in a large group, these Pokemon can be some of the strongest on the planet. This line would have a color difference between the genders. Males would have the normal grayish-blue markings, and they'd be the most numerous, and also unable to evolve. The very rare females would have royal purple markings, and this would signify that at level 30 they could evolve into Micronarch, from the words micro and monarch. As you can probably guess, this is based on the concept of a queen ant. Both Pokemon would be bug ground type, and they would have the hidden ability Swarm behind their real ability. Now that our Pokemon concepts are out of the way, and that we've trodden through the city-side path, we've arrived in the biggest city in the region, based on Boston, the shining city on top of the hill, Colopolis City, based on the words colonial and metropolis, for that's exactly what it is, a colonial metropolis. Although it's the most populous city in the region, it has no gym. Instead, it has many other challenges, like a contest hall, a pokathlon, and several battle clubs across its skyline. In this storyline, this is where the player character would run into the evil team for the first time, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other ideas for Pokemon, then please let me know, because I'd love to make them. If you want to see more Pokemon designs or just like art videos like this, then turn on the bell to get notified when I upload next.